Hi, it's about 1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Legacy version on Xbox. And I thought I'd throw up this clip just to show some fighter lag. It's not been an issue for a long time for me because nobody really uses fighters in PvP. And then you come across a new group that do and you're like, oh, well, we haven't had that for a long time. Most people got the memo that using fighters in PvP causes lag. In this instance we had two members of the other side both using ship launch fighters. I'd switched to my Pulse gimbal scrub build because of the fact they were using so many fighters. I got fed up of shooting them with frags from my Anaconda, and also meant I could do fighter duty where I was just occasionally switching target to the fighters to try and kill them as quickly as possible. But you know, it's one of those things. Not many people resort to using this tactic. It's a bug that's well known in the game and has been in the game for years, so most people avoid doing it because it gets you a reputation in the community. Some people see it as cheating. It's sort of using a bug to gain an unfair advantage. Basically, you don't get any of the lag your opponents do. It makes it almost impossible for them to use fixed weapons. You get a huge advantage. Also, it's very difficult for them to judge incoming damage because the lag, you get spikes in damage and weird damage output. Like in that opening clip, I killed the fighter long before it actually blew up, but it didn't register any damage for ages, and then suddenly the damage caught up and pop, it dies. And the same thing happens to your ship. Your shields can be on 2 rings, but in reality they're getting absolutely pasted and you don't know. And it makes it very difficult to, work, time your banks, do sensible stuff, things like that, because honestly it's just painful sometimes, the lag. And like I say, most people don't want the bad reputation for their squadron of being a squadron that uses fighter lag, or they don't want the bad reputation you get for using fighter lag in PvP. But some people, like this gentleman, they don't care. I mean, this gentleman was made fully aware that it causes lag and it's an issue, and his answer was no, he'd keep using fighters. So that's fair enough, he's owning using it, and if he doesn't mind his squadron's reputation getting tarnished because of it, that's his prerogative, that's his decision. There hasn't been a group exploiting fighter lag in the game for a long time, not since there was a group that flew on the IED side during the IED war, and their attitude was, well, it's in the game so we can use it. They used Primo, Healy Beams and fighter lag. They were a classy group. I can't even remember what their squadron was called, because we only really had 2 or 3 fights with them because it was such a headache fighting them, we just used to avoid them in the end. But yeah, they did a lot of BGS for IED, and whenever we went over to mess with them, they employed every cheap tactic under the sun. So hence we went after different people instead. Though it was hilarious because it caused a certain amount of embarrassment to IED, employing a squad that used Primo, Fire Lag and Healy Beams. All stuff they were saying they were against, but in the past they'd used. So all in all, it's not something you want to use if you want to keep a good reputation in the game. It's like one of those things. It's like running crimes in PvP. It's seen as an etiquette thing. I forever forget whether I've got crimes on or off because I'm usually in a wanted ship and it's locked, and then suddenly I find I've got crimes on. I'm like, how did that happen? It was locked last time I looked. But yeah, because I switch crimes on when I'm doing trading and I switch crimes off when I'm doing PvP, I often forget. But a few honest mistakes nobody minds. Deliberately and willfully using something that's cheap to get a win or gain an advantage, it's kind of cheap. But that's pretty much all. Thank you very much for watching, and to anyone out there using fighter lag, can I, on behalf of everybody else that has to put up with the lag in your instances, just leave you with this one final message.
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.